Bernard Halpin grew up in the poorer parts of Stalybridge, Cheshire. He was born in 1943 under the kitchen table during an air raid over Manchester. As a child, he was introduced to the National Geographic magazine, and from that moment on, he was destined to leave England, and consequently, his family.
This is my father. When I was a young man, I just wanted to join the Royal Navy, but he was dead against the idea. At 15 years old, I joined, but he wouldn't sign the papers. At 17 years old, he couldn't stop me, so I went, and this is my first day in the Navy. These pictures show aircraft that were burnt out, which we used to practice on firefighting as part of our aircraft mechanic training course. I was then drafted over to Kenya to join HMS Art Royal, the biggest ship in the Royal Navy. I was on 800 Squadron, and these are some of my friends on the flight deck crew. This was my own personal aircraft. I was the pilot's mate. You used to have one pilot's mate for the day shift and one for the afternoon shift, and you were responsible for your own aircraft. This is when we were on an excursion to Nairobi. Some young lady in a Allsop's brewery and talked us into flying a bottle of beer through the sound barrier. The world's first supersonic beer. Then after that it was Hong Kong. A mate of mine, Paddy Lewis, was determined I would get a tattoo. I said, no, Paddy. Anyway, he got me into that tattoo shop. But the tattoo shop was full. So I said, Paddy, let's go and spend the money on a woman of ill repute. I says, at least you can get rid of VD in 4 days. You've got a tattoo for life. He said, you're right again, he said, you pommy bastard. After I'd served in South Arabia, I managed to secure a draft to Naval 892, which was in the Falkland Islands. The Falkland Islands was like going back 1 century. The main mode of transport was horseback, but the wildlife was wonderful. And then we had the annual fancy dress ball. We all dressed as sugar plum fairies. But unfortunately, on the way back, it had just started snowing, and Ray McNeil spun the Land Rover out and crashed, and kaput it was. They decided to stop the rum ration on the 31st of July 1970. Unfortunately, a good friend of mine, Froggy Breward, actually Peter Breward, it was his 20th birthday that day, so he only got the 1 tot of rum. In 1982, in the Battle of the Falkland Islands, he lost his life.